Every topic on the SAT math section explained in 5 minutes. Algebra, advanced math, problem solving and data analysis, and geometry and trigonometry, all covered one after another, so you know exactly what's coming on the test day. If you appreciate this type of content, gently tap that like button and let's get into it. The SAT math section breaks down into 4 domains, and the test is split about evenly between them. That means that you can't skip any one of them and expect a good score. So we're going to go through all 4, and for each one, I'm going to show you a real example of the kind of problem you'll actually see. All right, first up is algebra. This is the biggest chunk of the test, and it's mostly linear equations and systems of equations. Here's a typical one. If 3x plus 5 equals 20, what is x? You subtract 5 from both sides, which gives you 3x equals 15. Then you divide by both sides by 3, and x equals 5. That's your core skill. Isolate the variable one step at a time. On the real test, they'll dress this up with word problems about prices, distances, or mixtures, but underneath it, it's the same 2 or 3 steps every time. Next is advanced math. This is where quadratics, exponents, and functions live. A common one looks like this. Solve x squared minus 9 equals 0. You add 9 to both sides to get x squared equals 9. Then take the square root of both sides and x equals 3, or negative 3. Remember that negative when you take a square root to solve an equation. You almost always get 2 answers, a positive one and a negative one. Students lose easy points by forgetting the negative answer, so don't be one of them. Quick break. If you made it this far, you're clearly serious about this test, so do me a favor and hit subscribe. And if the STAR test is more your speed right now, I made a full video walking through that exam the exact same way. Worked examples step by step. I'll show you where to find it in a minute. Okay, back to it. Domain 3 is problem solving and data analysis. This one's less about algebra and more about reading a chart, a table, or a ratio correctly. Here's an example. A recipe uses 2 cups of flour for every 3 cups of sugar. If you use 9 cups of sugar, how much flour do you need? You set up a ratio, 2 over 3 equals x over 9. Then you cross multiply and you get 3x equals 18. So x equals 6 cups of flour. This domain rewards students who slow down and set the ratio up correctly for the first time, because the math itself is simple once it's set up right. The last domain is geometry and trigonometry. This is the smallest section, but it still shows up, so don't skip it. A classic example is a right triangle has legs of 6 and 8. What's the length of the hypotenuse? You use the Pythagorean theorem. A squared plus b squared equals c squared. That's 6 squared, which is 36, plus 8 squared, which is 64. Add those together and you get 100. Take the square root of 100, and the hypotenuse is 10. If you remember that one formula, you can handle most of what shows up here. So that's all 4 domains: algebra, advanced math, problem solving, and data analysis, and geometry and trigonometry. Notice that every single one of these came down to remembering one core move. Isolate the variable, remember both square root answers, set the ratio up correctly, or apply the Pythagorean theorem. That's really what the SAT math section is testing. Not how much math you know, but whether you can spot which basic move a problem is asking for. And if you want more of this same walkthrough style, but for the Algebra 1 STAR test, I made a video on exactly that. You can check it out by clicking right here.